AnyDesk was breached. Let's go over what we know up to this point. Our first article comes from TechCrunch. You see the headline here: Remote access giant AnyDesk resets passwords and revokes certificates after hack. This came out the morning of February 5th, and the article is essentially announcing that AnyDesk had a breach the morning of Friday, February 2nd. So at that time, it announced that its production systems were accessed by hackers or attackers. So they got in likely before February 2nd, because they say in this article it put the company in lockdown for almost a week before the announcement. So it's been going on for at least a week up to this point. And this was a statement directly from AnyDesk. So they had three different things that I want to cover here. This first paragraph is basically saying they revoked their code signing certificates. What exactly does that mean? So code signing certificates are digital certificates used to confirm that a file or software has not been tampered with. Basically just making sure, hey, this code is safe, this file is safe, it has not been messed with at all. So if they've been revoked and changed those, that may imply that those code signing certificates had issues or they were compromised as part of this breach. But they don't explicitly say that. They do mention that for their design of their system, they don't store any private keys, security tokens, or passwords. So the expectation is that none of that information would have been stolen as part of the breach. And then finally, they note here that there's no evidence of end user devices being affected. So this was the statement that AnyDesk came out with on Friday, February 2nd, that launched that TechCrunch article and a lot of others to respond to what they were saying. So we're going to look at some tweets actually from Jake Williams. He is a malware cybersecurity expert, and I wanted to give a little bit of credibility to this guy before we just jump into some tweets from him. So Jake Williams, he works at IANS Research Center. He's a faculty member there. They even refer to him here as Malware Jake. He's been here for quite some time with an expertise in incident response, digital forensics, threat modeling, pen testing, and security architecture. So there is some credibility behind this Twitter user, so we're not just pulling random tweets here. But this is what he had to say based on the PR post on February 2nd from AnyDesk. So for starters, he said he doesn't like the timing of it. Friday afternoon, when they took the system offline days ago, comes across as a PR move, so he is not a big fan of that. He notes here, he said your code signing certificate was stolen. That means a few things in his eyes. So it means one of two things. Either you're not following good security practice, or the depth of the intrusion is much broader than implied. And he goes on to talk about changing the passwords and any credential material exposed to AnyDesk. That was a recommendation that came directly from AnyDesk. And in his opinion, he said it's not worth the risk. And then for threat hunting, another recommendation from AnyDesk was to threat hunt in your environment. He said when the intrusion vector hasn't been shared, you have to presume that AnyDesk doesn't know yet. Even if they know, it's usually a leap to say what exactly was accessed. So, I mean, it sounds like Jake is just not believing what AnyDesk is saying in that February 2nd statement, saying no end user data was compromised. We don't store private keys, security tokens, and all that stuff. So it sounds like not much trust in AnyDesk up to this point. Then he goes on to say, think about it. Do you think a threat actor jumped onto one machine, pulled a code signing certificate, and that's it? So fair point. Pretty unlikely that that's all they did. And another recommendation from AnyDesk was consider disabling AnyDesk in your environment, either by disabling the agent through GPO or blocking at a network level until more is known. His final comment on this is he didn't have any inside knowledge on the incident, but he's worked plenty of incidents in his day, and the reporting on this one stinks to high heaven. So Jake is suspecting we'll hear more about this incident going forward. Oh, I wanted to bring you to a February 5th statement, so a statement made from AnyDesk yesterday. So in this one, they said any version works. They're all safe to use, but then they went on to recommend that the latest versions 7.0.15 and 8.0.8. And in this, they also mentioned that they still have no evidence that any end user data or devices has been compromised. So it's a pretty quick update, but that is what we got today from AnyDesk. If there's any updates to this story, I'll definitely make another video, and I'll have a little pop-up here in the top right to show that we've got an update available. If you're still around at this point, consider subscribing. It's pretty easy and it helps me out a lot. Thank you.